All right. All right. All right. Welcome to the Real Money Coach Show here. This is July 2nd. If y'all not out already starting your holiday, you need to come on in and be a part of the show. You know how we do it on the Real Money Coach Show. Put in the chat where you are watching from, what part of the city, the country, the world that you happen to be watching. I see y'all there. Ain't nobody put nothing in the chat yet. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm super excited today because I have a young couple that's going to be with us, and you are going to enjoy. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's a couple things I want to really kind of talk about before we get to that point, but I'm just waiting for y'all to put in the chat so I know that you can hear me, that I know that I'm live. Somebody put in the chat, what city are you watching from? You put your name, your city, your state, so that we know that you got us. But let me tell you this. I'm really excited. I'm excited because we are a week away. Tomorrow is 1 week away from the Power Networking Expo and Experience. I know we've been talking about this for a while, and it is coming up, and it is going to be a great time in Charlotte, North Carolina. The main events will be taking place at the Convention Center on College Street. So it starts Wednesday at 3 o'clock. And then we have a very special, great time. If you haven't done it already, you need to go ahead and get your tickets for the Top Golf reception. At the Top Golf reception, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be honoring the late Dr. Joe Dudley, co-founder of the Dudley Hair Care Products. What I respect so much about Dr. Dudley is he was really he was a great person, gave great advice, made a lot of millionaires through his distribution system. And one of the things I really like about Dudley too is he never sold out. He never sold out. He told a story one time someone offered him, I don't know, like some ridiculous amount of money for the company. And he said that it wasn't for sale. He said, though the Dudley products was not for sale. And they said, everything's got a price. He said, it'll be your eye. So if you pluck your eye and give me your eye, I'll sell you the company. But so he's like, I'm not selling. And so he never sold out. One of those hair care product companies that never, ever sold out. And so we like that about keeping that wealth in the family. Since his passing, obviously, Ursula Dudley is now the new president and founder, or president and CEO of the company. And she's no joke either. I mean, she actually went to Harvard, graduated. Her graduating class included Hill Harper and this guy named Barack Obama, right? So that's she's no joke. So she's now taking over the company. So we're excited to see where it goes. So we're going to be honoring Joe Dudley at Dr. Joe Dudley and Dr. George Fraser at the Top Golf event that takes place at 6:30 to 9. It includes your food, it includes the golf, it includes the networking. So, you know, put your gear on, your embroider, your logo, your t-shirt, come out, put your tennis shoes on, come out to Top Golf, have a great time. That including your gameplay, your food, prizes, all that is $115. And you can go to my website to register, therealmoneycoach.com, or you also can go to Eventbrite, Charlotte Networking Top Golf, and you'll find out on Eventbrite. Matter of fact, Dante, we might even queue up the video for that, show you a little bit about the video in terms of the golf. So we'll do that. The other thing is you want to register for the Power Networking Experience and Expo. Right now, we're expecting over 500 people to be at the conference, entrepreneurs from all over the country. And we do have a special rate that we'll post in the chat box and on the screen. Now, I want to explain this special rate. There's an anonymous donor, obviously someone who has a little bit of net worth, actually donated for 100 people to have half off of their price. So the Power Networking Conference is still getting the full $598, but you can register for $299 while those rates last. That was only for 100 people. So it's $299, and that includes Wednesday. That include not the Top Golf part, but Wednesday. You got on Wednesday, you got Dr. Boyce Watkins will be there talking about his options program. On Thursday, you have billionaire Michael Roberts, made all of his money in real estate, TV stations, hotels. He'll be doing a panel. You have Master P that will be speaking. You have Dr. Jamal Bryant that will be closing out on Saturday evening before the Wakanda party that will take place at the Westin Hotel. Friday, you got a number of people there. And if all things go well in Washington, D.C., we will have Hakeem Jeffries at the conference as well on Friday. But as you guys know, it is election year. And so we'll see if his schedule allows him to come. So it's going to be a great time. And I'm going to tell you something else, y'all. Somebody else is going to be there. Y'all local Charlotte people, y'all got to come out and see this other person, a celebrity of great stature. This celebrity is somebody you need to know. It is none other than my co-host, Michelle Mitchell. Let's welcome Michelle to the stage.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Michelle, you got your bags packed? You ready to go?
Man, guess what? My suitcase, I just unpacked it, and I told Tony, don't take it downstairs because I got to pack again.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all just traveling. So I'm looking forward to you guys being in Charlotte.
Yes.
You and Tony being in Charlotte, hanging out with the Jacksons. You know it's going down when the Mitchells and the Jacksons.
That's right.
It's going down for sure.
We're going to have a good time.
We're going to have a good time.
Yes.
We're going to have a good time. We're going to be at Top Golf on Wednesday, along with your brother. Your brother's going to be there.
Yes.
He won a contest that I put on.
Yes.
And he can attend that event. And so that's going to be pretty cool. And so it's going to be great. You're going to be displaying your business. And tell people about your business real quick.
Sure. Mitchell Consulting is a financial firm that helps small businesses with their finances, and as well as we are educators. We teach financial literacy to small business owners so we can help them bridge the gap between their passion and their profit. You don't know this because it just happened before the conference I went to, is that I just got certified as a operational efficiency coach. So, yes. So operational efficiency and finances go hand in hand, because if you have money leaks in your business, it's because of your operations. So we are going to be doing both things, and I'm really
tightening it up. Tightening
it up.
Sheila Gothard, our guest from last week, says hello there. Sheila, thank you. We had a phenomenal show last week. Kind of talking about old times, back in Western college days, man.
I missed it.
I know.
I felt so bad last week. Y'all could still hear I'm still congested.
Yeah. So that's awesome. So you're gonna be one of the power coaches that will be there. And Michelle, I've been to the conference seven times. This will be I think it would be my seventh one. Couple of those we missed, right? Because of COVID,
right. Mm-hmm.
I've never had an exhibition booth. This is
really
a year that I ever had an exhibition booth. I usually just go in, do my speaking, have my workshop, and that's what I do. So it'll be great to have my team there and to have a booth and do those type of things. And I think I heard today we got over 60 exhibitors that will be there.
Nice.
And coaches and power mentors. I think the number was that there's going to be 40 coaches at the conference. And so whatever you need coaching on, you will find a coach. That's our networking experience, right? And you know what every coach needs?
A coach.
A coach, right? Exactly.
A coach needs a coach. Yeah.
Everybody needs a coach. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. So I want to just remind people one more time, the discount code is in the chat. The link to get that discount, $299, only 100. And this was announced actually earlier, late last week. And so I don't know how many are left. So I just want to encourage people to go ahead and grab your ticket for $299 and come out and be a part of it. And so we're going to do this. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to roll to a couple commercials, and then we're going to come back with our power couple. That's one of the new things. Michelle, one of the new things with the Power Networking this year is we have these, we're migrating to these tracks, right?
Okay.
So the track is going to be Power Men, Power Women, Power Millennials, and Power Couples.
Oh, nice.
And so there'll be regional events to that effect. And so we have a power couple that's going to be with us tonight. And I think they're probably, if I know their birth dates right, they're probably millennials as well. So they qualify to it.
Probably.
There we go. But let's take a quick commercial break, Dante, and then we'll come back and we're going to talk more and introduce our guests, Martin and Kennedy Jones.
Take control of your finances today with The Real Money Coach. Our free financial wellness checkup offers personalized insights and strategies to secure your financial future. Don't miss out on the clarity and confidence you deserve. Visit www.therealmoneycoach.com now. That's www.therealmoneycoach.com right now to start your journey towards financial freedom. Your future self will thank you.
Do you have passion for your business but feel like your finances are falling short? Running a business takes more than a great idea. It takes a solid financial plan. Mitchell Consulting can help you turn your passion into profit with their financial advisory services. Get the financial guidance your business needs. Contact Mitchell Consulting to learn more about their passion to profit capabilities.
All right. Well, welcome back to the Real Money Coach Show. I am your host, the Real Money Coach, Tony Jackson, and I have my co-host.
Yes.
Michelle Mitchell. I'm gonna call her Miss Passion to Profit, right? Miss Passion.
Miss Passion to Profit. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. So, Michelle, tell people how they can get a hold of you if they're interested in engaging your services.
Sure. You can go to mitchellconsultingservice.com.
There it is. And as y'all know, you can go to therealmoneycoach.com, find everything that you need. So let me do this, Michelle. I want to introduce our guests for the show. And Michelle, this is your godson's best friend, right? This is your godson's best friend and his lovely wife. They are Martin and Kennedy Jones. And we're gonna get it straight. I know Martin went to A&T. I can't remember where Kennedy went, but they're like our kids' age, right?
Yes.
And so every time TJ coming to town, I know who's coming over.
Right.
Martin and Kennedy, and we ain't mad about it. Let's bring them on the stage. Martin and Kennedy Jones. I call them the power couple. I've been telling them that, they need to get their campaign ready because and after the debate the other night, I'm like, we ready for y'all to run, right? We need Obama 0.20, right?
Well, I'm not sure if we're qualified for that rate.
Welcome to the show, Martin. Welcome back. You were on with TJ.
Yep.
Some time back, and we talked a little bit about real estate and all that good stuff. But now I got the two of you together,
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Michelle, everybody listen, I held back today on this show showing pictures of my grandson Trey. I think every other Zoom I've been on since then, I've been showing a couple pictures of me and Trey together.
Trey.
Right.
It's Trey's godparents, and we had a great time with his dedication there at Lincoln Heights Missionary Baptist Church. So shout out to Pastor Cook. But wonderful, Michelle, is a wonderful Baptist church like what we grew in.
Really?
They are so, Lisa and I always talk about that Martin and Kennedy and Aaliyah and Tony remind us so much of ourselves.
Of
right?
us.
Yeah, how we came up, we did everything. Y'all got married, we got married. Y'all had kids, we had kids. I mean, we did life together.
We did.
Yep. And Sheila's saying Aggie Pride because she was an administrator at A&T when you were there, Martin.
Come on, Aggie Pride. Oh.
Yeah. So she was an administrator there, and she actually.
She's actually from my hometown.
She's from Ben Harbor, right?
Yeah.
Ben Harbor, Michigan, and she worked in financial aid when Michelle, Lisa, and I were in college.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then by the time she got to A&T, I mean, she was like, bigwig, but she was
Right.
that y'all got y'all money so y'all can graduate.
Yeah. There's something about the Aggie Pride, it's just different. I always tell you.
Different.
Everybody can't be an Aggie. That's the thing.
Oh,
Yeah. Everybody can be an Aggie.
Kennedy is not an Aggie.
No.
I went to High Point University. That's where I went to school. Unfortunately, I was blessed to play basketball for 4 years.
Yes, you were.
So we were at High Point University with a fully paid undergraduate and graduate education.
That's right.
There's no unfortunate thing about that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And Tony, in our relationship, that was the same. Because
It was.
my husband went to a different school and he had an athletic scholarship.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Boom.
Nothing.
And y'all been married how long, Michelle?
32 years.
32 years.
Now.
So yeah.
Yeah.
They got actually married 6 weeks before Lisa and I did.
Right.
So we were in their wedding
Wow.
first, and then 6 weeks later they were in our wedding.
It literally is
Wow.
like us.
It really, literally is
Yeah.
like that.
Yes.
And so, she's
The Ivy League.
Hey, let me tell you, High Point is about $50K a year. So
Right.
right.
Real deal.
Well, and I just heard. I mean, I don't know this, but I kind of little birdie told me Kennedy's jumper is really better than yours.
See, now,
True.
And
that little birdie is spitting out false rumors right now.
And I can let you know that those sources.
That's not a good source.
Those sources are 100% accurate.
It's not a good source.
Those are credible sources.
It's not
You
a
can
good
take
source.
that back to your library. No, you can take that back to your library.
So now tell us. Now we got to get into this.
You're right.
How did y'all meet? How did y'all meet? Two different universities. I mean, I've heard the abbreviated version. How about that?
The abbreviated version.
Go ahead and tell them.
If I'm honest,
She came to the Ivy League looking for me.
she was just flabbergasted of just this dude that she saw. You know what I'm saying? Now let me stop. But I reached out to her on Instagram DMs, and I just said, "You got a beautiful smile." Just spitting my game, and she couldn't. She was just couldn't
let's
take
keep it. Let's keep it.
So
let's keep it.
but that same night we ended up talking like 8 hours on the phone.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the whole night.
The whole night, 8 hours. And then for me, like my pops always used to say, "Man, when you know, you're gonna know." And
When you know, you know.
I just knew. I said, "Okay, yeah, I'm out the game." I'm out
When
the game.
you know, you know.
I get it. I understand that. I have a similar story myself, Martin.
Yeah.
So I want you to weed.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Once you spit the game on, they just take you out. So it's just like.
So when we have time, maybe at the latter end, I can tell you the true story.
Oh, okay.
There's a little bit of fluff in there that doesn't. Yeah.
Well, we gotta make it that way.
Yeah. Better story.
Here we are.
So now let's tell us about the business. Tell us about MK Development, and I'm familiar with some of the projects that you guys have done.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of tell us a little bit about the business And, Michelle, this is one of those passion to profit stories that I think really can resonate with people.
Okay.
Yeah. So originally, I'll kind of like backtrack and then lead up to where we are right now. So when me and Kim were in college, our biggest thing was how can we get to financial freedom? That was our biggest thing. How can we get to financial freedom, right? So we started the Amway business, started that, and that kind of jump started our like self-development education,
business building
thing, but quickly found out that wasn't the path for us, right? So got out of that business, and then I started a clothing brand, and she had a podcast and women's empowerment group.
Yeah.
So we did that for about a year or two, and then we transitioned out of that, got out of that. Then we started a networking company called the Network. And what we saw was when people graduate, they don't get the necessary information like taxes, real estate, self-development, financial literacy, money coaching, like what you guys do once they leave college. They just graduate and they just start working. So we started a network that gave people that type of information. So we did that for about another year.
I would say another year or so.
And then we pivoted out of that. That was kind of our season. So we literally, for 3 years after college, we probably started, 3 businesses?
Yeah, 3 between the clothing brand, the Pledge, and then I started a coaching and consulting firm as well. So I was doing some consulting projects in North Carolina. So around that pandemic season, we were busy. Busy. We took that leap of faith. We left I say leap of faith. We'll circle back to that maybe later. But a leap of faith with poor planning, less strategy, right? Just walked away from the jobs in the middle of the pandemic. And, we started all of these businesses that he's talking about, and everything was provided for us. So we are grateful to God for that. But there was so much we learned. But I'm 100%. Sure Martin will get to it.
So once we started those businesses and stopped them, we sat down and we said, okay, what type of life do we really want?
Right.
This is our third business that we started and we stopped. Yeah. Where are we going? So we really sat down and just thought about like what's going to really get us to the point of financial freedom. And then we want to build 3 generations of wealth. So we sat down, mapped everything out. We said, okay, we got to get into real estate. So this is about 2021-ish. We started our first Airbnb business in Charlotte. It was cool. Okay, cool. We're making some money now. Okay. But we like, this isn't life-changing, right? So then we said, okay, how can we get into highest and best use? And I'll pause right here to kind of like just tell people, whatever you do, when you get into an industry, I would advise everybody to look at the highest and best use thing in that industry. Vehicle in that industry. So you got, for instance, when you drive a car, and no knock at whoever's driving these cars I'm naming now. You know what I'm saying? Don't.
Just examples.
These are examples right now, right? So you're driving a car, right? And you say, man, okay, I really want a car. So, okay, you can get a Camry, right? That's cool. Drive a car, but highest and best use might be a Rolls Royce. So it's like, how can I get, the car that I really want? And when we stepped into real estate, we said, okay, we're starting, this Airbnb, but how can we get to like development and developing like subdivisions, and how can we really help families move into more homes? Because our biggest thing is like, how can we create more affordable pricing in homes for families so they can move in? So our biggest thing was like, how do we get to that level? So that's when we sat down and we got mentorships. Shout out to the J. Parker Network in Charlotte, amazing network. I would advise for anybody that's in the Charlotte metro area, J. Parker Network is a great network to just start.
Jay's a great guy. I got to get him on the show.
Wealth of knowledge. So we learned from him. We spent about a whole year just walking,
literally.
So let me tell you what he does. So you can. If you ask him for any knowledge, first thing he's gonna tell you, show up at 5:30 in the morning for our walks, and then we'll see if you're serious or not.
And then we'll talk. We'll talk.
And then we'll talk.
Walks. Yeah.
Wow. We'll talk. So that's what we did for about a year. Monday through Friday, we showed up to the walks at 5:30 and just learned, and not just from Jay, but from the whole team, just about real estate, what avenue we want to get into. Spent a whole year just learning the true game and the essence. So after that, then we officially developed, our company, the MK Development Group, And that's where we hit the ground rolling. That's where we started getting into finding land deals and things of that nature. But before I get into too much, do you want to explain a little bit about how we got started?
I think you covered most of it. Yeah, okay. We went from the short-term rental space and recognized that wasn't. We wanted to get to ownership and more development. We wanted to get over that side of it. So we have gradually gone from. We started off and are still in the new construction space. So new construction builds is where we're starting now, and that'll always be a part of MK Development Group or a subset of it. But the goal, as Martin was saying, was to continue building, one home at a time, but eventually, 24 townhomes at a time.
Right.
And figuring out how we can create communities that address the affordable housing issue that we're facing around the world.
Yeah.
And so if we can start with one house and learning how to build that from the ground up, we are confident that we can transfer that knowledge over to communities and developments to address those issues.
Yeah.
So that's the inspiration.
Yeah. And I want to say this to people that's listening. You're right around the corner from where you're called to be, because literally our goal was to literally develop a subdivision. This was probably last year.
Yeah.
And literally we have the opportunity right now to develop 27 townhomes in the city of Gastonia, right outside of Charlotte. So I always tell people, if you just stay consistent and be ingrained in the process of learning and being around people, you're right around the corner from your destiny. Because right now we're getting opportunities that we can only dream of. Last year we didn't even know where opportunities were coming from. We were trying to find people, all these different things, and now we're getting things thrown to us just by consistency, just by showing up at 5 a.m, showing up to learn information. I'll say that's the biggest thing.
You got to show up to be in the game, right?
Yeah, you do.
That's true.
And a lot of people don't realize, and you're athletes, so you know this, is that the game is not won in that 40 minutes. Right? The game is won in those 4 days leading up to
the practice.
In practice.
Yes.
What I said, you talking about practice? Yeah.
Right, practice.
Yes. Get the reps in.
Yeah.
You gotta get the reps.
You gotta get the reps.
And it's so interesting you say that, because we had some sales training for my team the other night, and they said, well, how do you overcome objections? They said, well, you got to overcome them before you get them.
Right.
And I said, well, you can't overcome them if you haven't got enough reps to even know what objections are going to come.
Exactly.
So you got to get the reps in.
Yeah.
No matter what your business is, you got to get the reps in.
Yeah.
And I love one of the guys from Every Dot Black. His signature talk is that I'm a 30-year overnight success. Right?
That's good.
Because everybody else look at it and they said, wow, this just happened all of a sudden. But they don't know that you were having these conversations 8 o'clock. Girl, you hang up, I'll hang up. Now, what you think about how we can make some money?
Right.
They haven't known those conversations in all the businesses that you started and that you came out of. So it's been a process.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll just add to that. When you think about a tree, and I always tell this because I love it. When you think about a tree, it takes the roots. The higher the tree, the deeper the roots. Right. You think about a building. The higher the building, the deeper the foundation. So our biggest thing this year was dig deep. Dig deep. I was telling him we gotta dig deep this year to see what we want. And before you go up, you gotta go down. So before we could even do anything, we said we had to work on ourselves. Personal development. We gotta eat the right foods. We're gonna be putting in long hours, because in the whole first quarter, our goal was for her to get her broker's license and me to get my general contractor's license. And for those who don't know what that is, a broker's license is pretty much a real estate agent.
Yep.
The GC license is a general contractor. And that's pretty much allows us to contract, to build our own homes.
Right. And subcontract out.
Subcontract out, stuff like that. So when I mentioned dig deep, our goal was, okay, first quarter, we gotta get licensed so we can control our projects, right? So we invested into ourselves to get mentorship so she can figure out how to get her license. I get my license. And then you got yours in February?
March.
In March, and I got mine to the end of March. And then we said, okay, cool. Now, how do we set ourselves on track to acquire our first subdivision? So just to give you a quick story of that, how that went, I'm literally driving. It's called Driving for Dollars. It's long story short, it's pretty much when you ride around in your car and you're looking for houses. You're looking for land, things like that. So I'm driving around, I'm looking for land, and I see this piece of land that has 2 homes on it. 2 homes. And I called the owner. I said, hey man, see your lot. You got 2 houses here. Just want to call, see if you're interested in selling. And a very long story short, the gentleman was a 96-year-old man who was really almost on his deathbed. And he wanted to sell for $500,000. But a lot of people were passing this up just because it doesn't make sense when you look at 2 homes. You're like, $500,000. Like, no, I'm not giving you that. Mm-hmm. But this is where I go back to highest and best use. So what I did, I called my partner, shout out to Gary Harvey with Village Property Solutions, the land guy in Charlotte, another good guy.
100%.
So we called him, we did our due diligence and research, and we found out that we can change the zoning to multifamily, and we can maximize the lots to put between 24 to 27 townhomes on there. So called that guy back and we said, okay, let's sit down and meet. So we sat down to meet with his attorney and him, and we wrote the contract, signed everything. And this is how God works. 3 weeks later, he passed away.
Wow.
3 weeks later, we passed away. And his family had the option to take the contract away from us. Mm. But they didn't. And because they didn't, we dedicated the street in his name.
Wow. That's
so awesome. It's really important to be where we're supposed to be and show up every single day, because we don't know the opportunities that are in front of us that are destined for us.
That are for you.
Just by showing up. Mm-hmm. Like those of you who showed up on Facebook, on YouTube, or on live, you guys are showing up for yourselves, and you never know what information you might get from Mr. Tony, Miss Michelle, or from us that could change your family's destiny.
Change your whole, it could be a game changer. Yeah. And that's what I always tell people, is that I don't need a room full of people. I just need the right people in the room.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
And so that's amazing. I do want to do this though. I do want you to touch a little bit, because one of the things that has been impressive to me, maybe I shouldn't be telling you all this stuff, but you can't tell your kids everything you think about. Right? Like,
you can't tell your kids everything.
You go. But one of the things is your faith, because a lot of people, young and old, don't really put their faith out there like that.
Yeah,
and I hear it coming out of your mouths all the time. So tell us a little bit about how your faith is playing a role in what you're doing in your lives.
Yeah, I mean, it's the foundation. I always relate to construction. That's because I'm a construction guy. But when life hits you with a 2-punch, it hits you with blows and all these types of things, you gotta fall back on something. And our faith is our foundation. It's the thing that it's the bloodline, the blood flow of how we operate, how we do life. How we talk to people, how we give to people, how we set our day straight, how we set our mind right when we go into situations that are challenging situations, going to talk to people that we know are going to give us a headache, give us the grace to talk to them. But I'll let Ken touch on it as well. But our faith is our foundation in everything we do, regardless of what we're doing.
Yeah, just building on that just a little bit, when I think about how even our relationship started, our friendship and our relationship was built on a faith foundation. So it would be irresponsible if we're looking at how God has honored us building on a foundation, even in allowing us to be married, to build a relationship as friends and all these different things. To me, I think to both of us, it would be irresponsible to try to build something that he gave us the vision for without him. And for us, it's critical that we continue at any point that we have a platform to make sure that people understand that this is the foundation that we're building everything on. Yeah. So we can talk about foundation, concrete, slab. We can talk about foundations. We're talking about the core of who we are and what allows us to build our marriage, our family, and what sustains us truly. It's not the blessings that come as a result of what we're building through the business, but it's everything that has kind of spilled over into our life, into the things that we're able to give back, into the vision that we were blessed to receive. So we don't take that for granted. So we keep that at the forefront because that's our responsibility. That's the least that we could do.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And the brand, the clothing brand.
Yeah. God Made. So I can tell that story real quick too, but I was a collegiate athlete as well. And I just want to put this out here real quick. Whenever me and Kent played, it was never fair for her. So, I just had to put that out there, you know what I'm saying? Because she could beat me one-on-one, but, we just have to throw that out there.
We got a lot of witnesses, so we'll circle back and check on that. That's fine.
But
hey, we're gonna do like CNN. We're gonna have a fact check on that.
Right.
It's like, run the clip.
100%. So at A&T, when I was playing basketball, I played for about 2.5, 3 years. At the end of my third year, never forget this story. Literally got a random call from my coach. It's like, man, come to my office, man. I got to talk to you. So literally, we just got done with workouts, getting ready for the season. And called me to his office and said, man, look, not going to be able to, it was a long, drawn out speech. But to get to the point, he said, you're not going to be able to play next year. And I'm like, man, I just got done, running 3 miles for you. Like, what do you mean, And pretty much it was some stuff that was going on with the NCAA, whatever, and he was trying to push players out. So I was one of those guys who's trying to push out, but he pretty much just in a snap of a finger said, nope, not going to be on scholarship, none of this, you're done. So literally from that moment, and mind you, Pops played in college, we all been playing basketball for 15 plus years. At this point, I'm thinking my life is over. That time, and I went back to my dorm, just bawling in tears, and I ended up taking like probably 20-something pills that night. Just lost it, and then I'm like, I'm either gonna end up 6 feet under, or I'm gonna wake up and be in the hospital bed. And when I woke up, I literally saw my ceiling, my dorm ceiling, and I thought I was in heaven. Then I touched my body. I'm like, I'm still alive. And then from that day, that's really where I turned my life around. And that's when I started my brand, God Made. Started a clothing brand on campus called God Made. And from that point on, our slogan was unlocking your God-given potential. And it was just allowing people to just see the trueness of themselves. And from that point, we threw a slew of campus events, had about 50 to 60 ambassadors over A&T's campus, down in Clark, Atlanta, down in different colleges as well. But really just spreading that message like you can be yourself. And that was really the story and what really honestly started my life. I feel like I left a part of me there and started a new life from there. And from that point really started, I feel like the real Martin Jones II from that point.
Wow, that's an amazing story. I had not heard that before. I had heard that before, and that's amazing. I was thinking about the pool of Bethesda when he couldn't, he says, I'm waiting for somebody to throw me in the water.
Yeah.
And literally Jesus said, pick up your bed and walk. And and so when you said that, you woke up and you just saw the ceiling. Just God said, pick up your bed and walk.
Yeah.
Pick up your bed and walk.
Really. And it was so amazing through that situation because just the people that he used me to change their life as well. Yeah. It was so many, like we walk in the gas stations and people smoking Black and Milds and all this stuff, and they'll see the shirt and they'll be like, man, like, what is that? And I'll show them the event and they'll come to the event and they'll change their life from that moment. But I think like my pops always taught me, like, God doesn't call the qualifier, he qualifies the call.
Right.
I truly believe that with anybody. Whoever you are, whatever you've done, once you find him, it's a wrap.
Right.
It's a wrap. So from that point, I'll tell people this, if you're looking out there trying to find yourself, trying to find your lane, trying to find your business, if you want to get into real estate, and you see, oh man, all this money that's out there, all this stuff. I'll say like the first thing is just find you. Find yourself, because when you go into these deals, let's say it's real estate, right? You go into these deals, you talk to these sellers, you look at these contracts, stuff like that. If you're not right mentally, or if you're not right in here, you're not going to be able to execute that deal. Right. So we can talk numbers all day. We can send you all the information, and that's good. But if you're not right mentally and you can't comprehend that, or you can't wake up and work out, get your blood flowing, or eat the right food, stuff like that, all this stuff doesn't even matter. So I would really advise that to people who's listening, is like, man, like lock in on you first. Get you right first, and then, the opportunity will be right there.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's an amazing story, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I like you even more now, bro. And Martin, I have not met Kennedy's family yet. I know that time will come, but you come from amazing parents too, and they've done a very, very good job of raising you and your brothers. So I know y'all ain't play, because your daddy is huge. He already know where he go to in the picture, right?
It's funny because every time he give you a hug, you just like, you can't even breathe. You gonna let me go? Like,
I went to give him a hug. I said, I think I can reach up there. But that's wonderful. Yeah, so, Kennedy, any last words from you as we get ready to kind of shut it down? And
let me think. Yeah, I mean, I think Martin said it beautifully, but just taking some time to focus on you, I think that was the best decision that we made. And not focus on you meaning be selfish and don't give, but focus on you for a period of time so that you can understand, okay, who am I? What's my identity? So that you can start to discard anything that doesn't belong. I would say align yourself with faith. I recommend faith in Jesus. That is what has kept me, kept our family, allowed us to do everything that we've discussed on this show and anything you might hear us talk about later. But we recommend that as the faith to stand on, but align yourself with faith in something bigger than yourself. Highly recommend that. And then in whatever you do, align whatever that work is with the purpose that is assigned to you. So I would just say, do the purpose work. Shout out to Coach Michelle up there. Align your purpose with the work you're doing, because it's going to make it that much more fulfilling to serve, to give back, and to do it for something other than just you. So those would be the things that I would
I'll also add to give up to get up. Like give up, get up. And I think I say those words because I think that's the biggest thing, next level of you, like giving up to literally get up, to get your life up, because like everybody that's attached to you is waiting on you,
right?
Including you. Your son is waiting on you. You know what I'm saying? So
you have an assignment.
You have an assignment. You have an assignment.
It's you, right?
It is.
Right.
100%. So it's like give up that time where you binge watching, all the shows. Right. Where I'm just tired. Okay, I'm like, well, I mean, what do you want? What life do you really want? Because you either tired of making money. It's hard making money. It's hard not having money. So it's both sides. So
which hard do you want?
What's hard do you want? So
which hard do you want? That's Eric, right? He says, so and I think I even quote him in my book. It says, being broke is hard, and then being successful is hard. Choose your hard.
Choose your hard.
Choose your hard.
Yeah.
So you have a choice.
Yeah.
And and it's good to do these type of things to encourage people, because sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you think that there are no choices, and you're in the thick of it, and it's the fog.
Yeah.
And you can't see your way out. Sometimes you need a Kennedy, sometimes you need a Martin, you need a Michelle, you need somebody to say, hey, and they can look to you and say, man, if he did it, I can do it too.
Right.
And I think that's so important for our youth to be able to see examples. And that's what's so bad about this critical race theory, is when we take away the fact that we are a awesome people and have accomplished many, many wonderful things.
Yeah.
A foot on our back. right? With
right.
knee on our neck, and we still yet I rise, right? And so, but you know, you two and others like you, like TK and Michelle's son Tony, that are, you know, in that millennial-ish age, and well, you make us proud, man. You do. You really make us proud, and so I didn't know how this interview would go today on the show. And look, God just blessed it, and you guys blessed the audience. So, Michelle, any last words? What do you want to? Anything you want to say?
I mean, that's just their story feeds into like what I talk about all the time is like you have a passion, you turn it into profit. But along the way, you got to find out who you are and whose you are, so that you are in alignment with what the assignment is.
Right.
That's good. That's good. I see what you did there. That's good.
And a lot of times you got to be still and be quiet to get that clarity, so that you can construct the strategy for you to excel. And I'm very proud of you two, because that's what you did. You know, you took a pause and you were quiet and you figured out your strategy first, and then you stepped out. And I just love that.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So the way I always say it is, this is just God is waiting for your actions to get in alignment with your anointing. The problem is that we have this anointing, but our actions are not in alignment.
Exactly.
And you won't get to that destiny that God has for you until your actions and your anointing are in alignment. So
absolutely
beautifully said.
Yeah, nothing else to say after that one.
Beautifully said.
So listen, thank you all so much for being on the show. It's been, that's what I'm talking about, Dante. It is complete mic drop.
Right.
Thank you so much. And you guys have a wonderful night, wonderful 4. And you know what I got to do, Michelle? You know what I got to do before I get off the air?
You got to play your commercial.
No. I got to give a shout out to my queen. Her birthday is the 4th.
Her birthday.
Happy birthday, baby. Right? Right, come on.
That's right. Happy birthday.
All right, everybody. You all have a wonderful, be safe, be blessed. Thank you all. We'll see you next week on the Real Money Coach Show.
See ya.
See you, man. Take care.